So ladies, gentlemen out there, a little bit of a slow news week this time round, but there's still a few things that I would like to get Boba talking about. So we're going to start off with checking out a new trailer for Aquaman 2, which apparently packs quite a bit of a punch. I haven't done this in a while because, for example, leading up to the Flash movie, occasionally in news roundups like this, I would check out what latest clip or trailer they have. So I thought, since I haven't really done that a lot with Aquaman 2, and there's a lot of people talking about Aquaman saying, do we care about it? Don't we care about it? Well, let's take another look at what the latest trailer has to offer. Then I have to ramble a little bit about the extra snippet of footage that we have got with the Penguin. We also have some little updates for Superman Legacy with some behind the scenes stuff for cast members, and also some more fuel added to the fire about a certain actor that could be cast as a certain character. And also we have David Ayer teasing a little bit more about his cut of his Suicide Squad movie. So this video is timestamped as always. Ladies and gentlemen, feel free to skip around if you want to do so, but as always, I recommend watching all of it. Of course I would, because I want the watch time. And also, if you want to leave a thumbs up on the video, that's always appreciated as well. So let's check out what this Aquaman trailer has to offer. I do want to say though, I just want to put a little bit of warning out there. As the trailers ramp up to the actual release date, sometimes they tend to overshare in what they're going to show. We've been through this enough times to know that the more marketing they do, the more they tend to share some spoilery scenes. So let's get into what Aquaman 2 has to share with its latest China version of the trailer.
Dr. Shin! Seismic array's going crazy.
Where's the epicenter?
This reminds me of Monarch, one of the latest episodes. Yeah, literally. Like the monster underneath the ice, the Titan. What? Oh, that's probably from the Lost Kingdom. Okay. We know they have tech from
We
there.
don't have much time.
Whoa.
A global meltdown is imminent.
It's time for Atlantis to rise. I will grant you strength.
Okay.
I'm gonna kill Aquaman,
okay.
murder his family, and burn his kingdom. to
Okay, so they
ash.
just showed that. What? Oh, okay.
Coming for you.
We were talking about spoilers, and my goodness. It was kind of obvious, though.
He's heating the atmosphere on purpose.
Heating the atmosphere up.
We
Okay.
deserve a real king.
He
Okay.
is pushing us past the tipping point.
I think I know someone that might be able to help us.
Good old Orm. There he is.
You look rough.
Okay.
Perhaps you should leave and let someone who knows what they're doing be king.
I think this looks fun.
So dramatic.
I never expected to see you two fighting side by side.
Flex your muscles.
Nice. Nice. Oh.
Get away from my son!
Oh, whoa. Okay.
Your blood, come get it!
Your blood, come get it. It's very Jason Momoa. I actually kind of got chills at the end. And I thought that was a cool trailer. I'm not going to lie. I thought that was really, really, well, I thought it was really cool, but I did preface going into it by saying that there could be spoilers. And my goodness. So there were certainly, I feel like, a few of them that I instantly spotted there. So, I mean, right at the beginning, it was cool. I made a joke about Monarch. If you guys are watching Monarch Legacy of Monsters, you'll know what I mean by the beginning part of that. Now, everything else is just kind of as I expected. We have Black Manta basically find the Black Trident. Now, as for who this somewhat mysterious figure is, or this old king, it could be the case that it's the former ruler of Necris, which is the Black City, one of the Lost Kingdoms in Aquaman, which was also, funnily enough, the working title during production. So I think that kind of crazy evil-looking figure was maybe the old king, of which we know King Atlan went up against in one of the main trailers. We saw flashbacks of that. So we're going to see somewhat how, I guess, the Black Trident came to be split into two. We do see in the trailer that they kind of give away, even though I did call this, but they literally show, I believe, the very scene in where Aquaman's father gets stabbed by the Black Trident, by Black Manta. Like, you literally see, you can't see it because the camera's from behind, but you can see he's been poked with it, and he's in quite a bit of pain there. And I believe this shot of Aquaman is him absolutely raging out because he's holding his father then with him dead. And obviously there's the distress of the baby having been kidnapped as well, because there's been a lot of speculation out there. It's like, oh, is James Gunn actually going to do the thing where, you know, Black Manta kills Aquaman's baby? It's in the comics. I've always said I don't think they're going to do that. And as featured in this trailer as well, towards the end, we have Aquaman saying, "Get away from our baby," or my kid, or whatever, and he's got a knife held to him. So clearly it hadn't happened at that point, and I don't think Aquaman's just going to literally rock up for him to do that to the kid. So I think the baby will be saved just in the nick of time. But obviously at this point, with all the drama on screen, they're kind of freaking out. Not only is my dad dead, it's like, my God, what is he going to do to my child? Like, he's taken him. So yeah, you will probably have Aquaman and Mera freaking out, because we do know that Mera is in this scene as well. But overall, guys, I mean, I think this trailer was pretty impressive. I know a lot of people just aren't hyped for the latter DCEU movies. Like, we've seen that with the box office for Blue Beetle, Black Adam, The Flash, you name it. So I don't think Aquaman 2, especially with the box office projections being not exactly great. I think it was somewhere in the 50+ million range, which, considering, how the first movie did, I think the speculation of will it do as good as the first movie isn't going to be so much of a thing that's being talked about anymore. But I still think, at least from the marketing, I'm not saying it's going to be the best written movie, but I do think this is going to be a really entertaining film. Like, if you're a comic book fan, if you're a fan of Jason Momoa, if you're a fan of Aquaman, even if you're a fan of the DCEU, even if it's not the DCEU that you wanted it to be, I think people will enjoy this. But let me know your thoughts on the trailer we just watched down in the comments below, and any theories you have as well. Now, up next in this video, we need to talk about how, given that Penguin is filming again, we are getting new set photos that you're probably seeing on screen right now. Nothing mind-blowing, but it's just good to see Colin Farrell back in the Oz Cobblepot attire, and knowing that they are getting some episodes in before they probably go on the holiday break. But we did get a Max trailer recently advertising everything that they've got coming in 2024. I think maybe even into 2025. They showed some new footage for House of the Dragon. Even though we've got separate trailers for these things, this is the kind of sizzle reel trailer where they put a couple of new shots in there. And now for the Penguin, well, they added a couple of new shots. I'm not going to pretend that this is a whole teaser, but it is something, and it's something I can offer a couple of thoughts on. So I'm going to play that for you right now.
The world ain't built for guys like us.
You ain't seen what I can do.
So as I said, only a couple of new scenes there. Now, the first, bonus scene, if you will, was just like a little skyline of Gotham. Now, I believe maybe it's the tower on the left, or it could be the one on the right that houses the bat signal. And we know that because the bat signal where Jim and Robert Pattinson's Batman go to is one of the buildings that was never fully constructed under that of the Waynes. It kind of got abandoned, I believe, in the wake of their death. So they use that abandoned skyscraper for the bat signal. And I believe it's one of these two. And you can notice a little kind of reference there to Real Change with Bella Real right at the bottom there with a little bit of advertisement, because this is still only a week after when the Batman movie ends. So you still have all of the advertisements for those who are running for mayor. And obviously we know that Bella Real came out on top there. Now the next one, I would say the most interesting little teaser that we got here is of Oz Cobblepot walking into this room with a sledgehammer. Now, the reason why this makes me very happy is A, just to see Colin Farrell's Oz with a frickin' sledgehammer, but B, we know that apparently, according to Colin Farrell, and this could be subject to change, I don't want to get anyone's hopes up, I've always been cautious about it, because even though Colin Farrell is Oz Cobblepot, he's not going to be the one ultimately to make this decision, but he was hearing whispers way back when, and he mentioned it several times, that the Penguin show on Max could be R-rated. And I really hope it is. I mean, just given everything it's surrounding, the warfare in Gotham between crime families. I mean, at the end of the trailer, we just saw him kill someone and just laugh like that. So the reason why I'm saying R-rated is just to remind you that we could see a scene with this sledgehammer being kind of applied to somebody's knees, maybe. I mean, don't forget that this Penguin series, I don't think people realize how mad it's going to get. Sure, on paper, you might be like, okay, Oz, going from where he was to outsmarting everyone to becoming the new Kingpin, outsmarting the Maroni crime family who's trying to get back the seat that Salvatore Maroni lost. You have Sophia trying to fulfill her father's place, but you're going to have Oz come out on top, and the things he's going to have to do to achieve that, the bloody things, the violent things. My God. So I kind of really hope that they do get visceral here. I know that sounds kind of messed up, but I think that is what this kind of street level, Gotham underworld of crime stuff needs. And I think that's what they're embracing. So maybe I'm getting my hopes up with this sledgehammer. Maybe just busted open a door, I don't know. But I've got a feeling. I mean, and considering that the very next scene they show in this little teaser is of them putting a body in the trunk of a car here, which I think was featured in the main trailer, well, I might be onto something there. And other than that, the next shot that we got is just of Oz, kind of a little bit of a close-up, him looking very, I don't know, menacingly at someone. So, guys, this is only a taste, and I think the reason why I wanted to bring this up quite a bit as well is that given that we have these new little scraps of footage in this, I've brought up a couple of times recently in how people who attended the Max 2024 slate announcement or whatever it was, they were shown footage, I think, of whatever was slated. So multiple things, but one of them included the Penguin. This one journalist or press person said that it featured Sophia Falcone being a very menacing villain. So the fact that they got shown something, maybe a little sizzle reel that we haven't seen, and now we're getting new little snippets in this, I'm really hoping, and what I've said before, I'll say it here again, that we are going to get another teaser at some point in time. I can't guarantee it because sometimes stuff like that is just shown to people like that who attend those events, and it might not see the light of day, and they might just cook together a whole new teaser at some point in time in the future. But I am hoping that they can just recycle that footage to the public, to us, and we get to maybe look at that. I don't know if it'll be happening this month or anything, but maybe in the new year. All right, so up next, diving into some DCU news here. So first up, with regards to Superman Legacy. So what I want to talk about here is a very interesting conversation that comicbook.com had with Kurt Russell about him being involved as a certain character. And this is done by Chris Killian. I want to, just say, obviously, full credit to comicbook.com and Chris Killian here, but I wanted to watch the clip on screen so you guys could really see what was somewhat said and articulated here and the demeanor that Kurt Russell has. So again, I don't want to read too far into this, but it certainly raises at least one eyebrow. So let's check this out.
Rumors, but what are the odds we could see you reunite with James Gunn to play Superman's papa?
Oh.
Yeah, I'll take on Marlon Brando. I mean, there was something awesome about the way he was just looking around. I don't care that he was looking at his lines. He's just too crazy great to watch.
Okay.
But you know what? We don't know a lot about Jor-El. Maybe there's another version. I never heard this. I don't know. James Gunn was a blast to work with, though. So, yeah, you never...
Right. So, what piques my interest there, ladies and gentlemen, is a few things. And I do just want to stress, this is just for the fun of speculation. Some of you may be with me, some of you may not be with me. But first of all, what I need to address here is that Kurt Russell just said Jor-El. And what's interesting to say about this is that Chris Killian, who conducted this interview with Kurt Russell, did say, as you can see here on the tweet, that he didn't mention the name Jor-El before asking the question. You could just say to me, but maybe Kurt Russell knows who Jor-El is. But, the thing is, with regards to Superman's papa, as Chris Killian put it, Kurt Russell could have just taken it like I'm sure a lot of people would also take this question as meaning Jonathan, as in Superman's parents, to a lot of people would maybe be Jonathan and Martha Kent. But he didn't. He instantly, in that interview, assumed it was about Jor-El straight away, of which, to be fair, yes, I do need to put down on the table that Jor-El is Superman's dad. But I don't know. Just if you didn't know already, by the way, because I should have prefaced this, that yes, apparently Kurt Russell is in talks to play Jor-El. That's been a rumor for a long time. And it's just interesting that Chris Killian did say that he only said Superman's papa, and he didn't mention Jor-El. And when answering the question, Kurt Russell, one final time here, just thought it would be about Jor-El. Now, I am probably reaching too much there, but, you know, plenty of actors before, plenty of them, when being in talks for a role like this and stuff like that. You've probably even seen it recently with some of the Fantastic Four cast members or whatever. When asked about it, they're like, you know, they might try and deflect. Now, Kurt Russell had a bit of fun with it here. He did instantly jump to Marlon Brando, who played Jor-El, obviously, but then ultimately concludes by saying, well, you know, I haven't heard anything about this, but, you know, I loved working with James Gunn, so you never know. So it could be a situation of everything I've just said is complete rubbish, and he hasn't been in talks for him, but he's just like, you never know. He's familiar with Marlon Brando playing Jor-El before, and he just assumed correctly that the Superman's Papa reference was indeed to Jor-El and not Jonathan. But you could also look at it at the other side that, oh, maybe he indirectly gave it away there, that he maybe knew a little bit more than what he was letting on. You guys, let me know your thoughts on it down in the comments below. I don't need to ramble about this one anymore. It is very interesting, though, and, you know, thanks to comicbook.com for actually managing to, and Chris Killian there for managing to get that question out there. Now, up next, with regards to Superman Legacy as well, ladies and gentlemen, we have Eddie Gathegi looking good as Mr. Terrific. Now, you've probably seen the pictures of David Corenswet getting absolutely huge and very built for the role of Clark Kent and Superman. We have the engineer also very much so in training, and this trainer is absolutely insane when it comes to achieving the looks that these cast members need to for Superman Legacy. And yes, I know that's what a trainer is for, but my God. So seeing Eddie Gathegi here, you know, the caption being, Eddie, I am Eddie Gathegi, not playing around. He really is, like, getting into that physique. Now, it's interesting because quite a few people out there didn't know what to make of Eddie Gathegi playing Mr. Terrific. I personally love it, especially after seeing him in For All Mankind, where he plays a character who's quite a techie person as well. He wants to really push the limits to get out there into space and whatnot. So, you know, I could kind of see the Mr. Terrific vibes there, especially with regards to how techie that character is with his T-spheres. But a lot of people were thinking, oh, maybe he's too tall, too lanky to play Mr. Terrific, not enough muscle mass. But people don't realize that when you're getting into a role like this, this kind of transformation can happen. And by the way, they're not shooting until March. So these guys have got quite a way to go, and he's already looking like this. So you can bet your ass that Eddie Gathegi is going to look good as Mr. Terrific. So that's really great to see. Now, in other tidbit news, we also had James Gunn posting to Instagram threads about location scouting for Superman Legacy. I mean, we kind of already knew that they're in this kind of pre-production phase right now, because they did say before that they're shooting on sound stages in Atlanta, but the rest of the film is in places all over the world, which is very intriguing, which, you know, it is also really cool to hear about. Also, in a way, it makes sense because Superman can literally fly to anywhere around the world. But I imagine that maybe James Gunn really wants to show that, hey, Superman's going to fly all the way over this corner of the globe and save like a flash flooding or a bridge breaking down, and then all the way over here on the planet to show another situation. Because I really do want some day in the life of Superman stuff on top of everything that we're going to see in the movie. And I think it's just really cool. And let's just say that I am hypothetically right about some of the on-location shooting is going to be used for every day in the life of stuff. That would be really cool versus that of just seeing it on a green screen. But I'm sure, you know, that a lot of this location scouting they're doing is for much bigger things in the movie as well. And the last story that I want to talk about in today's video, guys, is an update from David Ayer on his Suicide Squad cut. Because this has always been an interesting story ever since James Gunn has taken over. And I'll get into that part of it just after what he says here. So with Games Radar, they say, but speaking in the new 2024 preview issue of Total Film, Ayer is optimistic that the Ayer cut will make it to the public someday. I think so, he says when Total Film asks if we'll ever see his cut. I'm going to be hopeful, you know? There are a lot of people that are invested in certain narratives that don't want it to see the light of day. So there's an immense political headwind against it, because if that cut were made public, the cowardliness and the whole just general shittiness of how the film's been treated and how the actors have had this great work that they've done taken away. The narrative blows up once people see the movie, but it's coming. Something's going to happen. Something's going to be revealed. The truth always comes out. It always comes out. Now, you may be thinking, some of you out there, that, oh, he's just saying this, it's never going to come out. He's just kind of manifesting it, right? But we can't forget how, if you go back, I believe, to August, we did have a response from David Ayer saying something even more substantial than this. So really, the latest quote from him here is just, hammering down on what he said before. But what he actually said made it seem like it was really going to happen. So previously, he said, all I know is my unseen film plays much better than the studio release. The interest in my cut being shown seems real and organic. And Gunn told me it would have its time to be shared. He literally said, and Gunn told me it would have its time to be shared. So maybe he is still very, very confident here in this latest quote with regards to how it's coming. Something's gonna happen. Something's gonna be revealed. The truth always comes out. So maybe he's still very, very confident about that. And I say, like, why not, honestly? Because, Suicide Squad was drastically changed. I've got a feeling that a lot of people, maybe not a lot of people, but I would say quite a majority of people might be, or even some of you watching this right now might be apathetic to this. Maybe some of you won't mind if it comes out or if it just never comes out, but I would be down for it just because of how different apparently the original vision was, and it is still there. So maybe James Gunn did tell David Ayer, I mean, that's what David Ayer is claiming, especially with that original quote, that we can release it as an Elseworlds thing, maybe on Max, but I'm not sure. It is very fishy for him to just straight up say that months ago, that James Gunn said it would be coming, and then for him to hammer it down the other day even more that it is still coming. Mind you, he did kind of reword it to, I'm going to be hopeful, but then again, he did also end it off on saying something's going to happen. So I don't really know what to make of it. Anyway, though, everyone, that is absolutely everything I've got to talk about today. Again, it's been a little bit of a slow news week, but hopefully we're going to get some more tidbits next week. We're going to have to wait and see what happens, but let me know everything you thought with regards to each story in today's video. I've got a couple of other videos that I'm working on behind the scenes right now, so make sure you are subscribed to not only not miss out on those videos, but also any breaking news in news roundups like this in the future. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see all of you people of the DCU in the next video. Goodbye.